first of all, a very big thank you to all of you at Indus, especially Professor Marwa, to give me this chance to come back here and feel young once again with all of you youngsters. It's a great opportunity to be here. Seeing the national anthem played live on the video is very apt for something that I am doing nowadays. Of course, I purposely didn't let my recent introduction come over here so that I could do that myself, because currently the business that I'm in is a restaurant which focuses on live events. And so that's something which was lovely to see with the national anthem being played live, and I believe by your students itself over here. So that's something great. What I would like to do is that I'll give a quick run through of what I have been doing so that it will help all of you to later on ask questions which are relevant to what you have in mind, if any. And also we can have a more interactive session. I would probably, because that's what I've been doing largely, talk more about entrepreneurship and things that go along with that. So that would help you maybe learn from the mistakes we have done or some things that we did right that are working. So yeah, as I said, I think entrepreneurship can be starting from any age. There's no age limit. Probably we have had all of you who has probably been the youngest entrepreneur here, who has run errands for their parents to earn 10 rupees when they were kids, or who has started a library at home. So I'm sure some of you, anyone out here who has done something? Yeah, so what did you do at what age?
Good morning, sir. Hello. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
I am Biju Kinkar Goswami from Guwahati, Assam. I have started a music studio in my home, in my room itself, for the upcoming music talents who misses the opportunity to does the recording in the highly qualified in hi-fi studios because of the rent. So I run a music studio at home, from home.
That's lovely. Again, as I said, that I seem to be coming into contact with everyone and everything related to music and live music. So it's lovely to see that. So yeah. So but that must be what, at what age were you doing that?
I am starting that from age of 19.
Okay, so that's very good. So yeah, I mean, like I had started a library at my house, I think when I was 7 or 8 years old, just because I had a lot of comics and we said let's charge a rupee each, and it's just fun. But the small experiences grow up with you, and then you look back on them. From the age of 16 or 17, I used to be a DJ. It started off as fun, that you have friends who say they want to have a party, and you typically are, in my case, we didn't want to dance, we were shy. It feels awkward sitting doing nothing. So what do? So you say, no, I'll play the music. Okay, so there's a legitimate excuse to not be on the dance floor, and then everyone looks at you every time to do that. Ki, arey kaun bajayega? Chalo, Avinash ko bhejo. So you or a friend with you, you start with bags of cassettes and then progress on to, at some point, CDs, and of course nowadays we just go with an MP, with a USB, and everything is ready. But earlier we used to go like a coolie with 3-4 bags. So point being, there again you learn the fun part, but there is money involved. You have to pay vendors, you have to collect money from people, you have to be on time, you have to see that you do a good job. So though it's in college, it's fun, you also want to party, but finally you are doing something apart from the money that you get as pocket money or whatever other way that you would earn as an allowance, to enable yourself to stand on your own feet. And sometimes it feels good to be able to do that and buy something for yourself from your own money, or buy something for your parents. A lot of people would love to have that concept that first salary I will buy something for my mother or father or girlfriend or wife or whoever that is the closest one to them at that point of time. So hopefully you will have your first salary before you have your first wife, but so that's why preferably the parents. Yeah. So something in what I have been doing is, after that, after I was in college, I joined my family business. But before that, my father was very clear that you should get exposure in different environments. I think you, being in MBA, know that how important work is also for you guys in during, before, or after your studies. So like I joined GE Medical Systems, where the purpose was to train in Six Sigma medical or quality systems. They are a customer of ours, so we had to implement that in our company. And it was just 6 months there, but again, though I was working there, but you also learn the side of the story when you're working as an employee, because not everyone is always going to be a businessman. Not everyone is going to be an employer. A lot of you get employed, and also you will employ people. And if you haven't worked as an employee first, it can be very difficult for you to realize what an employee should get or should be treated like, or what are his requirements, because it's a very different thing being an employee and being an employer. So from there I joined my business, where we were already into manufacturing. The plan was that we should not do something which we are already doing. So I was, though it's an existing business, asked to start something new. So it was an entrepreneurship within an existing business, where we then decided to get into the power backup products business. We started the genset division, which we were lucky that probably in the right place at the right time and right infrastructure, we jumped from almost 4 times every year for 3 to 4 years in terms of turnovers, businesses. So we had a huge jump, and we soon became one of the largest manufacturers riding on the telecom boom. But then we had the telecom scams, and so we also had the negative part where huge amount of money gets stuck. So when you're an entrepreneur, you will always have positives, but don't get carried away by that. You have to make sure that you're protected. For you in your music studio, did you have any problems that you faced, that people are not paying you, or you had unforeseen technical issues or anything like that? Did you or anyone out here who's done something like him already, something for entrepreneurship, and has faced any issues already that you can count on? Is there anyone who has had such experience? Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
My name is working. My name is Paritosh Chaudhary, and I am from Korba, Chhattisgarh. Sir, I have done my graduation from Indore. So I was associated with some of the bands and the music associations and DJs out there.
Okay.
It was that no one pays them, actually. If you are going to make a show, the organizers only pay them 1,000 rupees or 2,000 to play. So is there an issue that they shouldn't be paid, or the music scene is being getting off from India or from major cities of India?
See, this I would say largely depends on artist to artist and venue to venue, location to location. There is usual concern that people try to underpay artists, but that is actually changing a lot for the better, because now they are, if you see, now Starbucks has got entertainment. Okay, so you can see the pressure that is there on people, where you can, now you have every Wednesday or Thursday live comedy. Sometimes you have bands playing at Starbucks on FC Road, on Korega Park. That used to never happen. One would never expect a coffee shop like Starbucks to require events. So it's at a smaller city level, where the opportunities are, smaller, where the people are not so particular about it, you will find this issue. But it's improving for the big jumps, I would say. And yeah, you have to be careful as an artist. Again, as I said, you're an entrepreneur, as an artist, as a DJ, you have to make sure you get your money in advance. Like even today, when we get bands at our place, they don't come on the stage if their full money is not credited to them. They're very clear. It may be Indian Ocean, or it may be Parikrama who's coming now, or it could be anyone else. They will. So, but when you're smaller, you don't have that choice. You cannot. You're happy to get that opportunity to play in the first case. So yeah, that's how.
Thank you, sir. Sir, one more thing.
Yeah.
Could we get a chance to listen Coldplay in Pune?
Probably you could have been in Delhi, so at least you would have heard one of them. But in our case, we would not be probably looking at getting Coldplay so much, because it doesn't fit within the genre we do of rock. But hopefully there would be some enterprising event management company or artist management company that may have the budgets and the mindset, because it's a no-brainer. If you get them, it's a sure shot seller. It's a question of the dates of the this thing. So yeah, maybe it's an idea for you guys to look at.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So going at after that, businesses have matured. I, as an individual, learning through various experiences, working in different plants across the country, setting up plants in Silvassa, Jammu, dealing with corporates at telecom levels at different circles. So I've been getting a huge number of different experiences while doing that. Coming to a little bit more recent working, like it was said in my introduction, a couple of years back, we also looked at diversification a bit at an individual level, as in not a family business, but between me and my father, where we felt we want to encourage other entrepreneurs. It's not necessary that only we can be the entrepreneurs, so we wanted to invest in a couple of companies that we thought were doing well. So my father is also the permanent kind of head of the IIT Kanpur Association of Pune. So he founded the chapter. So he has a lot of people who are young entrepreneurs who are part of that chapter. So one of them does work for the defense and for aerospace and for automobile industry, which we talked of, sensors for missiles and also weather monitoring equipment. So we decided to invest in that because we found that it's not only us, but you can recognize in people the drive, the knowledge, the information that they carry, the way they are passionate about their business. Because if you want to be an entrepreneur, that's the first thing. You are going to need that passion. You have to have that belief, and half the time that's what the only thing you're going to have to eat, drink and sleep on, your passion and belief. You may not have anything else at some point of time, because that's what the startup goes through. But yeah, so along with that, we also were exploring people who were helping society as part of entrepreneurship. So we had identified someone who makes prosthetic limbs at around 1/10 the cost of what you get abroad, but which are equally good replacements of Jaipur foot, which are again, Jaipur foot is actually very rudimentary. It really is not very useful. I mean, it helps, but you need a much better option at an equally low cost. So we had found people who are again very highly technical, but not exposed to the world in the way they should be, and based out of Pune. So helping them to get a good business, a profile, exposure to the rest of the Indian market, defense, where you have a lot of unfortunate casualties with respect to limbs being required. And along with that, I finally got into the business that I'm largely into now, which is the food and beverage business. So around 2 years back, again, I was kind of thrown off the cliff from my father. He said that, okay, enough of the factory, you need to start something on your own from scratch, so you have that confidence and believe that you did something, though you started a division in the business. It was in the business. So almost overnight, I was told that, okay, from tomorrow you're not going to the factory, see what you want to do. So I was like, okay. So I was suddenly having nothing to do and no backup, no infrastructure. So then I started exploring things, and so we got into a couple of ideas. So a lot of you, if anyone is from Delhi, etc., would know Cocoberry frozen yogurt. So I used to be going to Delhi very often, reading about it online. So I wanted to check out what is this Cocoberry frozen yogurt all about. So I went to Delhi, saw the outlets. I liked the concept. I approached them that we want to either buy into your company or we want to take up franchisee or manufacturing. So we became the master franchise of Cocoberry frozen yogurt for Western and Southern India. So right now, we started off with outlets of those. Parallelly, I was looking at opening something which is very dear to us, a microbrewery, and then we were doing a lot of research for that. Along those lines, I came across a company called Classic Rock Coffee Company. It's very strange, and which will happen to you more often than not. I was very clear, I will do anything in the world in food, but I will not do coffee. I was very sure of that, because at that time Starbucks came in, CCD is already there, Costa's there, and I was like, I don't want to fight with these guys, and the only thing I'm doing right now is I'm selling coffee. So that's how the world comes to. So, but I like the concept that it's a rock themed coffee shop, because I spent hours and hours sitting in a class CCD or a Costa, and that it's okay for doing work, but it gets boring at some point of time. There's nothing new. And Classic Rock, they do the roasting of their own coffee beans. There's a rock atmosphere, and you bring that with the pub and food. So it seemed interesting. So we got into that, and we approached them, and we became the master franchise for India for Classic Rock Coffee Company, which is based out of US. And they already had outlets in Pakistan. They were opening in Dubai, in Cairo, in Istanbul, in Bangladesh, which are already in Dubai, which are already now open. So that was an experience which was as if from scratch, where you are exploring all the angles, where your import, export, licenses. For the first time ever, I was actually looking at what a sales tax return has to be done, my export licenses, import licenses, because I was working, though in a new division in my company, I had a huge infrastructure available with me to do that. I never had to even look at writing a check or this or that. It was all done for me. Now, in the last 2 years is when I will actually say that I have done the true entrepreneurship. So within Classic Rock Coffee Company, I think, do we have a video? So it will be something that I can show a few videos to you guys so you get an idea of what it is done. It will also be a little bit of fun. And so we could just have the videos. You can play it in any sequence. So basically we bring in a lot of artists. We were, the opening was done with the lead guitarist of Guns N' Roses, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, who had done the launch for us along with Blackstrat Blues. And so we do coffee, if I may say so, alcohol, and yeah, a lot of live events. You can play anyone, yeah. You can play with maybe temp, yeah. So this also gives a lot of the American brand videos, which talks about the concept of how they came about it and how they are marketing it, because that's finally what's important for you guys, how to do it as a business. Yeah.
House branches out and interest is brewing now overseas. Hello again, I'm David Oliver.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Jennifer Kilman. The Classic Rock Coffee Shop is headquartered here in Springfield, but Melanie Chapman learned it will soon have franchises in Dubai, Pakistan, and other countries.
Jennifer, David, this coffee shop at Sunset and Kansas Expressway serves up more than coffee and espresso and pastries as well. It serves up an experience. Classic Rock Coffee in Springfield roasts and serves its coffee in rockin' style.
I think it's great. I mean, I've never been to a cafe that's like that rock and roll, kind of has a different vibe to it than most coffee shops.
It's the vibe that's rocking the interest overseas. The locally headquartered coffee shop started franchising this year, and the calls, text, and emails started pouring in, not only outside the Midwest, but outside the United States. Countries like Dubai, Pakistan, India, all interested in the Ozarks business.
Well, without a doubt, it's the theme first that brings them in, because a lot of these people are calling us. They've never been in here. They've never tasted the coffee. So they're liking what they see. It's the look that appeals to them.
Classic Rock Coffee.
Owner Kid Morrison says they started the business with the intent of franchising. They take pride in their highest quality coffee from different importers, and they take pride in Big Difference. It's paying off. Their brand is going global.
In these other countries, as a matter of fact, we're teaching them how to roast. This roaster here is going to Pakistan, and Joe, our master roaster, will fly over there and teach them how to roast on this exact machine.
Many are finding the Classic Rock Coffee Shop on their website. Brett Payne is a franchising director.
You know, everybody's looking for something different. I mean, the coffee business is a stable business, the second most traded commodity in the world. Everyone loves classic rock music, and so it's a perfect hybrid. We didn't scientifically come up with that method to do that. It just happened to be like that.
Ozarks customers think it's an adventure. Those overseas will drink in.
It's great because it's kind of like a little bit of American culture that everybody's wanting, but yeah, I like it a lot.
Tells me they're averaging about 4 inquiries a day, not only within the states, but outside the states as well, about 120 inquiries a month, and soon the chain, it could be a franchise in the hundreds, even thousands.
All right, Melanie, thanks.
Might have heard, considering you are not.
This is
none of the parents
a
under
concert
30.
played by students of a teacher here. So they played at Classic Rock. So there were around 40 students, and they got a chance to play one by one instrument. So this is just more about fun. Just enjoy music. Yeah.
Okay, Sama. Anyway, so most of the selection was mine. This one is actually a song which I heard because of Eddie, and he's into the new age pop. But it's a nice little tune. It's called "Ain't It Fun" by Paramore. Okay, and we are gonna have Aman on the drums. So, yeah.
just to give you an idea that who's singing Adi Agashe. He's the son of a very famous musician, Mandar Agashe. He's right now, Mandar is doing an album with Asha Bhosle. He's doing a lot of work in New York. He's launched an app called I think La Da Di Da, which is basically a higher version of SoundCloud where you upload your songs and they are going to promote the artists and figure out a way where artists can get paid directly into their account when anyone downloads their song. So it's kind of a iTunes plus SoundCloud mixture. So again, Adi is only 17. He is again a musician. He's a very accomplished dancer and a cook. So again, it's a very good example of, there's no age at which you need to do something. He's jointly with me bringing in one of MasterChef Australia's 2014 season's top 10 contestants for doing a show at Classic Rock in September, which is initiated by him again. And so it's not that, he's a 35, 40-year-old guy or a 25-year-old guy he's still in college right now, but his thinking is already along those lines. So that's something which is, interesting thing. We can stop this video. We can go to the commercial. Yeah.
Classic Rock Coffee. Our coffee rocks.
So now this franchise opportunity will give you an idea about, finally every business has to be making money. So like how Classic Rock Coffee is done, so about marketing it, about the uniqueness of the concept. So this is something to talk about how to franchise out your business.
Classic Rock Coffee. It's coffee that rocks, yeah. This ain't your typical coffee shop. It's Java with attitude, baby. From the moment you step onto the stage, you'll see, hear and taste the difference. We're rocking and roasting 7 days a week with guitars, amps, lights, burning wrists and groupies. We've got the best coffee, frappe, smoothies, protein shakes, pastries and sandwiches. Oh yeah, green M&Ms if you get backstage. Come on in and get a whole lot of love. Get the idea, my babies? Even if you don't love classic rock, well, that's impossible. You're gonna love Classic Rock Coffee. Check us out.
So this is a coffee workshop we had done with Chris, is the trainer from Classic Rock USA. So we had done a workshop with him on Coffee with Chris, where he explains to people about how stuff is. So this is giving you a view of our actual Classic Rock outlet right now. One second, just wait for that. So, all of us know Guns N' Roses. I think there's no one who doesn't know, and it was, I'll say, a wonderful opportunity for us to get Ron Bumblefoot-Thal, who is now the co-lead guitarist of Guns N' Roses. He's the perfect example of how you can be hugely successful and still be so great a human being at the same time. We actually, you can understand how much of an impact he had on our place. He was there with us for a week. When he left, each and every person of my staff was crying. Each and every person, including me and my wife. Okay, because he's such a humble guy. He used to be so down to earth. He's so pleasant. He's the hotel, when I used to go and drop him, the staff out there, the doorkeepers out there used to ask me कि हमको लगता है बहुत बड़ा आदमी लेकिन ऐसे behave नहीं करता तो है कौन ये? Because they used to be very kind of because he used to be saying hello, hi to everyone. He used to be very wait here and there. So, but as a performer, he's a legend. And so he had opened for us at a launch event, and so we had a couple of videos of him. One of his them was him rehearsing in Bombay at a place which is a partner for sound, and the other is a quick clip. I think it's just great to be getting to see him. So yeah.
So I'm here at Gear House, rehearsing with the band, getting ready for the big show coming up on the 16th. It's going to feel more like a concert than a grand opening. We are taking what we're doing here, the traveling band, we're going to Pune to the newly opening Classic Rock Coffee Company coffee shop. It's like a great coffee shop to hang out, but it's completely classic rock motif. For lack of a better word, a motif. Did I say motif enough times? I can say it a few more. Motif. Everybody, I am Ron Bumblefoot Thal here in Pune at the grand opening of the Classic Rock Coffee Company. Tomorrow night, Saturday, May 16th, we're having a big concert to celebrate, starting at 7 p.m., going to 10 p.m. Then we're going to continue inside and keep on making noise all night long. So I want to see you there. Please come by. I look forward to meeting you all and having a great time together. Thank you so much.
So in fact, you guys may be lucky. We are planning to get him back in October. So he doesn't have dates, but he said I'll come in December. So I told him, no, I can't wait that long to see you again. So you make sure you come somehow. So, and this time he wanted to get his wife along because he loved India. This is third time here. So in fact, we are trying to tie up with Uber cabs to do, and if it will come through a concept which is Uber on demand. So we'll put him on a truck with a full band, and on the Uber app you demand for him and the zone area which has the largest number of hits for apps. So the truck will drive him to that zone and he'll play live for you as a group all across the city over the whole day. As of now, if it comes through, it's planned for October 2nd because it's a dry day, and anyway I can't serve any alcohol in my place, so there's no use for having him there. And he's a true representative, if we would say, of peace, because we kept telling him that if we just put you in a white robe out here in India, you can easily be a sadhu, sannyasi and Baba, because that's how you look, you talk, you behave. So it goes in line with what we are planning, a peace week per se. So with Gandhi Jayanti, again another epitome of peace, and ending with a John Lennon tribute on 10th October again at our place. So with Classic Rock, again, if you see what they talked about was that what people have come into the coffee shop but not even had the coffee, but they keep coming. So the thing is about the differentiating factor, and a lot of you, when you all are going to be starting something or will have already started something, will look at something, but then the question comes, what do I do different that it doesn't get lost in the multiple options that are already there? Because I mean, like for example, I suddenly see there is Grofer, there is Local Banya, and there are 10 big basket, and all of these suddenly coming up. I still don't know what is different in each of them, except that one pays a bit more for more ads than the other in the papers or on radio. But the reason Classic Rock is doing well probably is because they've done something different. What we then had to do is, we could not keep Classic Rock in its entirety as it is in US, so we had to take the option of food, alcohol, live music to a larger extent, because in India coffee consumption is very, very low. How much we would sell in 1 week, US sells in 1 hour in the morning. Between 6 and 7 is what they sell, is equal to what India would probably sell in a week. So that's the difference in the consumption. And in India, again, if you come into a coffee shop with a rock theme and a pub at 6 in the evening, I don't see more than 1 or 2 out of 100 people wanting coffee. They want food, drinks. So we had to innovate within that. So even if you have a ready-made concept, because franchising is a way to go ahead for a lot of people, that you will take some brand. If you have that option, please don't take it as it is, which is very bad from a franchisor point of view maybe, but you have to have that negotiating power if you're especially taking a totally different territory. So if a lot of you are from maybe MP, Chhattisgarh, Northeast, if someone is sending you something from Pune and he wants you to do exactly the same and you think it's not going to work, you have to understand that no, you need the menu changed, you need the product changed, you need the services changed, you need the language changed. So keep in mind that almost nothing on its own as it originally was is going to work for you unless you are exactly in the same circumstances. Even then you may just be duplicating something. So I think that's a very critical part of when you're looking at doing something new in your businesses, that the differentiating factor, but it shouldn't go to the extreme that it's only about the differentiation and you forget about the core thing. I was reading yesterday an article about the 12 mistakes that restaurants tend to make. In that, one of the main things was that you differentiate, but you try to differentiate on basics. So they say we will serve good food and give good service. That is not a differentiation. That is taken for granted. You cannot say things which are industry practices that you will do them and say that you are different from others, because those are something that you are supposed to be doing anyways. So you have to bring in something that is really apart from what is the standard offering that you would give, and within that what you can do. So I think that is something that we are learning over time. Even now it's a daily innovation, that what event to do, whom to get in, what activities to do, how to reach the people. You will have a lot of competition, so that is again something which you cannot ignore, and at the same time you cannot be scared of. So yeah, you will have new places opening, you will have new competitors doing the same things, people will take your staff, you would mind to do the same thing. But I think all in all, I find that, and it's a very positive thing, that this institute of yours very heavily focuses on encouraging you to be entrepreneurs, and that's a very good thing, because typically world over people associate doing an MBA or something like that with the next step is always necessarily being a job, but that doesn't have to be the case. It's not, in fact I would say that you are going to be a lot more qualified to do your own businesses, because you have learned how to run your business rather than having to only depend on those whom you employ to teach you that. And there's nothing more important than knowing the business that you are going to be giving someone else to handle finally. If you don't know the nuts and bolts of it, you will be never able to do anything. Even now my schedule is I come home at 2:30 in the morning from my restaurant, I'm up again at 8 o'clock, by 9 o'clock I'm at work, whether at the restaurant or at home. But I have people, I don't need to do anything out there, I'm not washing any dishes or cleaning any utensils or whatever. But the point is that I'm not in this industry, and if I don't know about it, I will always remain an outsider with everything of mine invested in it. So whatever you're doing, you have to put in that hard work, whether you know it or you don't. You cannot expect to hope that someone else will do it for you. You will wake up one morning and find that you have lost everything maybe, or there's a crisis and you don't know anything about it. So you need to make sure you know what is happening, spend that time and start enjoying it. And the important thing is, as soon as you do something that you're enjoying, it takes away half of the trouble, if not most of it. So yeah, a lot of people think that yes, Harry, you're in a cool business, you're getting to party every night and all, but that's the atmosphere from the outside. But there's a lot of work at the back end, there's a lot of focus on what is the business angle in it. Yes, but I enjoy what I'm doing, I'm listening to the music that I love, we are in the atmosphere of good food, good coffee, meet friends, but sometimes that's a distraction. So you cannot always do only something that you like to the extent that you only do that without focusing on the work part of it, because things catch up with you. You can get away with it for a month, 2 months, 6 months. So try out things, that's what I would say, but try to see what you end up liking. If you're lucky, you will get to do what you like to do. If you are not very happy with what you're doing, I would say that give yourself some time to pursue some hobby. I'm sure a couple of you have told are musicians out here. Who is a musician out here? So someone in this batch also, apart from you said, so you also play an instrument or something, guitar you play? So imagine that you are at work in a 9 to 6 job or a tough job and you don't get the chance to play your guitar at all. So how would you feel? Would you be happy, sad? Would you feel
It's always good to get some time with your hobbies, but when we don't get that time to be with our hobbies, it always feels sad.
See, what we feel is that as you grow older, you let go a lot of the things that were your passions when you were a child, whether it's reading, whether it's simple thing like watching some favorite shows, or whether it's music. Or so what I personally feel, I find doing that actually is like meditation, because that is one time where your mind is clear of anything else, because we are so constantly thinking of things all the time. Right now we are connected to 100 people on 20 different apps on the phone and different ways or online. So if you give yourself a little bit of time to at least pursue your passions as a hobby, if not as a business or as a job, so that will still keep you a lot happier with your work, because otherwise you start feeling resentment towards your life पर अरे कैसे काम है, मुझे एक घंटा नहीं मिलता है कुछ करने के लिए अपने लिए, it's eating away my social life, my personal life. But I mean, I had left DJing in the middle for 6-7 years, and then when I started it again, even just for 1 hour a week, I used to play for myself at home. And that 1 hour, it was as if I'm in a different place altogether. It was just reliving the pleasure of what we used to do. My son then started enjoying that. He now wants to learn DJing with me, so he's just a kid, but you get time to spend with your family. It could be whoever. So that's something that you have to find. It's not that you have to take it as a, please sit down here. It's not, you have to treat it as a distraction, but I've come about to realize it being as something that makes you do your work better. And we often look at that, oh my God, I'm wasting time out here. But that quick movie, the quick drive out, a quick holiday or break, if you don't give yourself that, at times you will, harm your work rather than thinking that doing that is harming your work. So these are something that we gather over time. It seems very difficult. Even now there are days where what I'm telling you, I don't necessarily be able to practice it, but just because I don't practice what some of the things I'm preaching doesn't mean that I'm not aware of how important they would be for us to do. Of course, again there are a lot of financial aspects and commercial aspects that go into starting off, but what I'd like to do is that I'd like to allow you guys to ask many questions if you would have, and if anything that are specifics, then those points can come out from there. So yeah, I can request the people to. Yeah. I'll not do the job of choosing whoever he hands the mic to can speak.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
My name is Prakha Khare and I am from Sagar. My question to you is, like, you have been into various different fields, starting from a library, small library, and now in food and beverage field. How much a role of a godfather is important in life to differentiate between hobby and a career? Is it necessary to have a godfather?
If that godfather is giving you lots of money, it's very important. Yes, you require, you can call him a godfather, you can call him a mentor, you can call him a guiding person. It always helps. More often than not, you are facing a lot of problems. You want to have someone to go to. The problem with owning your organization is that you have no one to go up to. Everyone comes up to you. So you need that someone whom, for me, that's like my father is that he's because I can't go to my staff and tell them, yaar, meko bahut problem hai, kya karu main? That's what they are supposed to come and do to me or with me. So yes, it helps if you have someone. It could be financial support, it could be technical support, it could just be there to guide you. And if it's someone with knowledge of that industry, then yes, very good. So yes, there's no harm as long as you're making sure they are not the fleecing kind who try to make something out of you without it being genuine.
Thank you so much.
It helps a lot. Yeah. As I said, I'm not choosing whoever gets the mic. Yeah. Good morning. Okay, you are from my favorite place. Yeah. My mother is from there, so I have spent most of my childhood in Dehradun. Sure. So you seem to already have a much better idea of what you like than a lot of people that I would know even at the age of 30. Forget about being at your age. So at least you know some traits of yours that which you think are going to be used in a certain kind of field. So like you like to manage people, or you like to be the boss of people, or what way. So HR could be one. People management is something that you are going to require irrespective of whatever you are doing, unless you are a one-man show somewhere. Otherwise, any job, any business you do, you are going to require people management. Yes, HR may require a bit more, though typically for some reason in all industries, everyone hates the HR department except the HR department themselves. So because HR department is known to create problems and delays and not reply. But yeah, if you already have an idea of what you'd like to do, what you can probably see, you have the advantage of being young. You can start off with something that you think you like, and your education would support that for you. Test it and then see. Yeah.
Change with time, and I am moving on with time. I go forward with Steve Jobs' thought that don't settle, keep looking forward and keep searching for what you want to do in your future. So I still don't know, but I think so that this college will help me in deciding my future. And I still don't have a particular answer for why MBA question. I came here because I accidentally landed here.
Any of your education, I mean, what we find is that most people don't do the business or job what they actually studied. It's proven. I mean, most of my friends are mechanical engineers and they're doing software related jobs, or my software engineer friends are doing mechanical related jobs. It's about the experience, the curriculum. I would say the most important thing that you will take away from here is your alumni, because that is what you will look back on over the long years, the people who are with you, your friends. And yes, I think you have got some time here to spend, and that will give you a lot more time to introspect, try out some things. Maybe you can get internships somewhere at places which help you to try out things. And yes, you can try out X type of job if it's a job thing, and if you don't like it after a couple of years, then you can see, at least you know that you tried it, you didn't like it, so it's off your list. And if you liked it, very good, you can continue. Only I'll suggest if it's jobs, don't switch them too often, because that goes very bad on a resume. If someone sees a person coming with jobs changed every 6 months to a year, then we at least never hire someone like that. But if it's business related or entrepreneurship, you can always try stuff. There's no harm in that. So yeah, and talk to friends, ask I think you have got great professors here to guide you.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
My name is Nyanida Bagmare. I am from Nagpur. I've done my engineering in mechanical field. So my question is, actually my dad is not here. He's out of country. He's presently working with Perfect Food Private Limited in Nepal. Okay, so he's having his experience, 23 years experience in confectionery department. Okay, and I have discussed with my dad. We have discussion that we started our venture in Nagpur. So my question is whether I should take some experiences from other firm, or should after my MBA completed start my venture or helping my dad, or should I gain some experiences with other firms and then join my father's firm?
So your father's firm is in Nepal?
Yeah.
But he's working or he's owning it?
No, he's working. He's working as a production manager there.
So in India or in Nagpur, you want to start off on your own, which would be a new venture over here?
Yeah.
And he would he be here for running it with you, or he would ask you to do it while he's still over there and guide you from there?
No. He started his own business, and I want to help him.
He's already started it in Nagpur?
No. After some years, or after this year, he should be there.
Okay. See, if it is you doing it yourself first, then it's always best to work in similar industry for some time, because of the fact that you would learn a lot more and not make those same mistakes. And also when you get people, they respect you more because they know you have come with the background of knowledge. If you come as a new person directly, then they also have to listen to you because you're the boss and not because you know what you're necessarily talking about. But as I say, if your father is also coming here and being with you when you're starting, then you already have that experience here. So then you don't need to necessarily do it outside because he already knows everything about it. So that's why I say, if he's not going to be here and you're going to do it yourself and just take his guidance from where he is, then you need to work outside. If he's with you, then he'll teach you anyways and he has that experience. So then you don't necessarily need to work outside.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
My
afternoon.
name is Saloni Vaishnav. I am from Indore, Madhya Pradesh. So my question to you is, since I have heard about you, and you said you first joined your father's business, and then after some time, after gaining experience, you ventured into something you like of your interest, that is food and beverage. In my college, it was a very college which promoted extracurricular activities to a greater extent. We did dramatics, we did every single thing, management fest and everything. I have seen many friends who are extremely talented and they want to pursue any activities like dancing or band, and I have seen drummers, guitarists, a lot of people, but they are extremely scared to pursue this, and just for the sake of their parents and the pressure, peer pressure of the society, they go for MBAs or any other degree rather than pursuing their passion. So I want to know, sir, what will be the correct step for them? If there is a peer pressure that is like 100% situation in all the families, they say, yeah, do MBA, do a post-graduation, do a job, then you will see. But by that time, you reach a age where you feel, no, I think the time has gone by. So I want to know what is your suggestion in such cases?
See, I come across almost an average of 5 bands every day. And they're a mix of a lot of the people like you talk about that who play for passion or a hobby and are good bands also, to a level of those bands who don't do anything else except make their money from playing music, which is the ideal situation that the people that you're talking about would want to be, that they would like to make that the revenue source. So what has to be done is that, see, some people are either really good and you know you're good. Like Adi Agashe that we were listening to, he is going to US, to one of the top 3 universities in the US to study entertainment, music and related fields as his course itself. So he's specializing in that as a education, so which then becomes a whole different thing altogether, because he is good. It's known, it's proven he is good, he knows he is good, and he has the backing of a father who's in that business and financial this thing. So a lot of the bands that are very good today, they are working in the daytime and they play on the weekends, they play in the evenings, they take out time to make sure that they can keep playing. Some of them that we know have been working earlier, and over a period of time, as their popularity grew, their confidence grew, then they started feeling confident enough that yes, now I can leave my job or I can start doing this. So you will have in one band 5 people, 3 may be working, 2 are not working. So they have to, unless from day one they know that they're very good, or that they have sufficient capital backing them as a supportive parent, or whatever you say, as a family they're rich, they need to have a standby idly and keep pursuing it, because the industry sees those people who are popular. That's why when I have to see a band, the judgment is on basis of where have you played, how many times have you played, how many people know about you. When you play at a place, if I don't do any marketing, just by your name, how many people will come? Will 200 people come to see you if you tell them that? So these are criteria, and then slowly they start growing. So they have to do both for some time and then start becoming more and more towards whichever of the areas is giving them more benefit.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Sorry for the sore throat.
No problem.
I have a unique idea to open a food chain which will be serving 100% fast, food related to fast.
Okay.
As you know, every day is fast for someone in India. So I would, from biscuits, pastries, pizzas to 5-course meal. So can you share some of your early experiences regarding finances or setting your classic rock company?
So whether you're doing a fast food chain or any project of its kind, basically you have to put down on paper what is it that you want to do in terms of its size, cost, number of outlets. So let us say you're planning a 200 square foot, 300 square foot place, because if you're doing 5-course meal and this together, I don't know how it will merge, because then 5-course meal does not come out fast. But the option may be that it's a pre-packaged or it's
Can
something.
be extended later on. Na?
Yeah, sure. So you have to put down what you want to start off with, what size of place, and then you put in your costs as investment. So one is a capital cost, that this much of space, people, machinery, equipment, and you put that together as this is my capital cost. Then you put for working capital for next 3 to 6 months. Once you start, you have to assume that you will do zero sales. In spite of that, do you have enough money to pay your salaries, your rents, your electricity bills, etc.? So that is the money you need before you can start off, which would come through your own resources or through bank financing or through family, friends borrowing, etc. And then you have a working operational sheet. So you say that, okay, this is my worst case, middle case, best case scenario. If I sell so much per month, this is my average pricing, this is my sales, this is my margin that I'm going to sell around 40%, 50%, 60, 80, whatever margin. So if you're doing 10 lakh sales and 40% is your cost, okay, I'll get 6 lakhs contribution. My costs are, my rent is 50,000, my salary is 2 lakhs, my electricity bill is so much. At the end of the day, after everything, how much are you left with as your gross profit? And then if you are going to be in tax bracket, then that's your net profit. So that is a working sheet, which on paper should seem possible to achieve with a reasonable amount of buffer. And then when you make all of this, if you are approaching official organizations or institutions for money, they will need this and a lot more as a full concept note, ideas which you take as a project report and approach them for finance and along with your margin money. So one is the working which is to be done. Second is using that working to approach people with your ideas to set it up. So they will fund you with a term loan or with a working capital loan. So that's how it would be.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I am from basically from Northeast India, not far away from the capital, which is known as the rock capital of India, Shillong.
Shillong, yeah.
So my question to you is, in Northeast India, people, students from almost 20 to 21 years, everyone have a passion for music, and we also have a based on survey that found that every houses in Northeast in India has any musical instruments at their home. So what we basically miss, some motivating people like you, to who motivates the younger people in Northeast India to encourage their music talents. So those whose parents have money and all, they can move to Mumbai. So my question to you is, sir, why the companies like your company and other Hard Rock Cafe, why this company doesn't move to Northeast India? What is the basic barrier behind them so they don't move towards that? Because the hard rock bands from Northeast India, they exist till at the age of 25 or something like that, and then dissolve their bands and go for some jobs.
I think the probable hindrance in most organizations or companies or brands opening up in such places is that there's a lot of legal and government related issues at time where people are not very comfortable about opening up larger brands. There's a lot of not necessarily in all the places, but there's fear of militancy, there's fear of the enough of the population that is there, because otherwise the closest that one right now goes to for that is maybe Calcutta is one place where people, because it's known that okay, Calcutta is still close enough and is known for its food and for its love for music, and most of the talent is there in Northeast. In fact, I'm talking to so many bands that are based out of Shillong to see if we can get them here. I want to get the Shillong choir also over here, so we are in touch with a few of them. But in fact, NH7 has done the NH7 in Shillong this year for the first time, which is initiative towards promoting music over there. And I was there at NH7 in Pune last time when they announced that, and though it was postponed, it was planned to be in February, but they finally did it a couple of months later. But that is a recognition of the fact that there is such a lot of talent over there and interest in music, and otherwise to do a music festival over there of this size for the first time is a sign of things to improve. And I think you will probably find that in a very short time people would be looking at this thing. What is needed is for people like us who are in the business of franchising is that people who are out there themselves, if they have that confidence and if there are those families who have the money, why don't they take a franchise out there and start it themselves, and then they can bring it. And you don't need to take a franchise. The concept of having live music to play, I'm sure it might be already happening out there. You just need a venue. It doesn't have to be a brand. You just need a place which gives the infrastructure. Everyone is a musician. So I think it will but happen with NH7 taking that step. It's going to improve more and more.
But the the parents having the money, they don't means wants to invest in that line and open up. We have places like Music for There, which almost apply 1 or 2, which organizes events, approximately 2 events in a year, like Hornbill Festival and Alcharinga. These are the 2 basic events. But rest of the year, the music band stays idle for the whole year.
As I said, that probably I see that things are going to improve because there is recognition from a long time that a lot of the talent comes from there, and the fact that a big brand now like OML planning to or has already taken a festival there. So seeing the success of that, probably soon you will find brands following them over there, because what a place like mine or Hard Rock or someone like that, what do we want? We want to be in a place where you have a lot of local talent. Today, if I have to get a band from Shillong, the logistics cost itself kills the whole project. And or we tell them, no, you come by a cheap travelway, then it's not right. You know, even now, so Pune, Bangalore, all of these have a lot of local talent, Bombay. So I'm sure that you're going to have people putting up a lot of stuff over there, and because then you have huge amount of good talent there, and that's like a scouting field. From there you will send people into the other areas of the country. So if I find a good band over there, and then I can make them tour my outlet in Pune, or if I have something in Bangalore, Delhi, Bombay tomorrow, and which is easier for a established one like Hard Rock probably, who can already do that since they have existing outlets in other places to send bands that they discover to. So we are trying to do something similar, not in Shillong, but like here. So we are planning to do something called Launchpad, where we are trying to have an initial stage where we are having a singer-songwriter where an individual can play and kind of audition, but play to the public, and then we see who we think is really has potential, and then we put them under what we call Launchpad. So someone who's not already known, and then we give them that platform in launching them to the market that see this is a good talent, and when they're coming out of our name, so at least there is a credibility attached to them that okay, Classic Rock has promoted them, so there must be something good about them. So it helps them to get more gigs in other places because there were this thing. So hopefully someone has to do the same thing over there. Doing it from someone like us there is something probably 3 to 5 years away. But yeah, but I get what you're saying, because that is something that a lot of us are looking at. Thanks.
Hello sir.
Hi.
My name is Shetal Janawat. I'm from Indore, Madhya Pradesh. Till now I don't have any ideas regarding entrepreneurship, but I really wanted to start something on my own basis. I just want to know ki when you started exploring new things and new ideas, when you have to start a business, so how you got to know ki yeah, this is the field and this is the area where I could work and of my interest. I mean, how you explore things and you come across different things and new ideas. What were those, and how you shortlisted them and come to know that you'll do this?
So basically you are before you actually decide what you like, you are coming across so many things on a day-to-day level. You will see things happening. So sometimes an idea just comes because you see there is a gap of something that is needed, and you feel yes, I've thought of this and I'm looking for it and no one is giving this to me. So the fact that I wanted, there must be so many more people wanting that, so why don't I provide that? And that could be anything from a door delivery, laundry to a music thing. So it doesn't have to be glamorous, it could just be something that solves the problem. Other way could be that you have grown up with a certain interest or passion in life that you had, and which you know that if you do something along those lines, it's going to be something that will make you happy, and then it narrows down your search slightly. That okay, I know that, like she said, that I know I would like to do something with managing people along those lines, so it gives a little bit of a shortlisting. Or sometimes people just identify a space that they think is doing well. A lot of people want to do everything online, so they will say I want to do something online, that's it. Now how do I do it? Then you have sometimes a lot of these colleges, you find a lot of people come up together with ideas where 2-3 people decide something. Someone has X idea, Y person has another skill to promote that idea, the third person has the technical part of it. So you may also have friends out here who discuss things and will help you narrow it down. And don't put yourself under too much pressure to think about that, because you may even find that after 3-4 years of working somewhere. So it doesn't have to be that the minute you leave college you have to start a business. And you can just keep your eyes and ears open, and it just sometimes happens. There's nothing, no science in it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sir, this is Ninad Bhaviskar from Ahmedabad. How can I get a chance to perform in your cafe?
What do you play?
I'm a violinist and a vocalist.
So you're a singer-songwriter basically?
Not a songwriter, but a singer and a violinist specifically.
When I say singer-songwriter, basically that you would play the instrument and sing yourself also.
That's right, yes.
Okay, so we are going to be having, as I said, probably in a month and a half or so, a series of weekly thing where we are going to have 5 to 6 singer-songwriters who will be playing once a week on that day. And so you can always, I mean, I'll give you my card after this, and you can send me a mail giving some information that yes, this is what you do. So we have Vineet, who was the teacher who is taking the classes on the stage that we saw. So he's curating that event because he's basically a 15-year experienced musician, and he's going to be taking all the names of the people, and then he's going to line them up to see that the people who play are not duplicating each other. You may have a set of 5 favorite songs or 3 favorite songs and 3 other people. So I'll forward it across to him, and I'll tell him specifically to make sure that you get a slot in the opening slot or something. So that can be done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sure.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Novleen Loba. I'm from Goa. So now to start up a business, you need a lot of capital and a lot of funds. So if I want to open up a branch as such that is already branded, for example IKEA, it's not much known in India as it is abroad. So what would be the process to start such a branded company when I want to, like, if I want to start a startup company?
If you are going in for a brick and mortar concept building, then yes, you will need funds. Nowadays a lot of people are focusing or trying to get into businesses which don't require much of capital investment directly. So yes, those are typically the online businesses where you don't have real investment in equipment, machinery. Over a period of time, yes, your main business capital is human capital, where your salaries and other infrastructure or marketing becomes the cost of it. If you're talking of brands like IKEA or anyone, so is your question as to assuming IKEA is ready to offer it to you, and how do you get it, or how do you get someone who is not there in India yet and you know they would do well but they are not planning to come here? So what is it that you would
to get to know someone to come and start here?
See, what usually happens is that one way is there are a lot of franchising websites. That is how we came across Classic Rock Coffee Company also, which are international websites which have an international section in them. So like there will be a website for USA, but they will have a section which shows companies based out of USA who want to send or explore opportunities abroad. So they will be listed under different categories, and one is you go through those. If you see some idea you like, and then you write to them that, you know, I'm interested. So they all have a form that you fill in with contact details, and then they get back to you. So that is how we came across Classic Rock Coffee Company, that we had a US website which was sent to me by my brother who's there, and I was going through different options for franchising that they were offering outside of USA, and I wrote to them. I wrote to around 15 different people, and so there were 5 companies in frozen yogurt who wanted me to master franchise of India for frozen yogurt, but which we didn't want to be at that time for them. So you have to identify and write to them in some way, but unless you are already having a background from your own either family or business or something, if you are approaching any reasonably established brand, it will be very difficult to convince them to give you something, because what they require first of all is your ability to invest and your experience. If you're talking of someone very small or new and you see something while you're traveling somewhere as a concept, and then you tell them, oh, why don't you do something in India? But then they may not be able to give you that support, and they will not have the draw of a customer. So if a big brand has to be just by name, you open IKEA, you know, people will walk in because IKEA is known to Indians as a good brand, though they are coming in India themselves. But for an example, but then they will not come to you just as an individual. You need to have an organization or some background to convince them. So it's like a conduit that you need something to start off, but you cannot start off with the biggest. So you can start off by looking at someone local or Indian maybe, but a good brand. And then with that, like when I went to Classic Rock, I told them that I'm already master franchise for Coco Berry. So that gave that confidence that I am handling already the similar line of business and in that experience, because otherwise I have nothing in food business to talk about. So when I write to someone, whatever I may write of industry, but if they ask me what have you done in food, I'm zero. But for someone like Coco Berry or someone, that didn't matter so much because their business model is not so centric towards knowledge, because it's a easier to operate model. But once I have that with me, then the next step becomes easier. So you go for it step by step.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Ushan Rathod and I'm from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. As you said earlier that you wanted to go for food and beverage business, and for that you had been thrown up by your father. So in that crucial time, who was your motivation on, or how did you motivated yourself, and who inspired you to go for it?
Yeah, so my father's role was to tell me that I have to start something. As far as what to do, as I said, I had 2 or 3 ideas or things in mind, and again because I have been from a background of music as a DJ, etc., and I have an interest in. So I wanted to open a microbrewery first. I had done a full market research on it, and then I found there are so many microbreweries opening. Might as well not focus on that. And then I was searching brands. Classic Rock came across. So my father's role, yes, is a lot as a motivator even now. Within that, what to choose, he really was like you. In fact, he was very skeptical about some of the things. Ki chalega, nahi chalega, tum dekho. Because again, he had no idea of that business. So he said, I can't judge something that I don't know. You ask me about how to do fabrication, I'll tell you. So you have to, yes, self-motivate first of all, and then the person, like they talked of Godfather, it could be that person who you find. It could be a friend or a family member. So yeah, it's a combination of someone with technical knowledge and combination of someone who's just there for the emotional and moral support.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Cheryl Barya and I'm from Indore, Madhya Pradesh. So firstly, I really liked your work. It's really interesting and creative.
Thank you.
So like you said that music is your hobby. So my question is, would you like to add some more changes, or maybe if you are planning to add some more spice or more innovative ideas in your work apart from music and coffee?
Yeah, so see, for us, there is something that we are doing all the time, because it's not only about for us, but it's for our customers. So we have already had, for example, a master Zumba class from a trainer in USA. We had 300 people doing Zumba simultaneously at a place on 12th of July. So we keep doing. Now we are starting yoga classes on every Saturday morning, and then we are starting a dance fitness event every Sunday morning for families. So we want to become like a community center, because my space is quite large. I have around, and I have a huge parking. So we are trying to add new things. We are going to have a flea market on 22nd and 23rd August, for example. So something new or different for people to play. I don't know if any of you know the musician Karsh Kale. So Karsh Kale is a very famous musician. So Karsh Kale and Medieval Pandits are playing at Classic Rock on 21st August. So which is a different genre from what we have been getting in Classic Rock. So these are electronic fusion with tabla and a DJ set. So it's a daily thing actually to bring in something different. Though we stand for, yes, the basics of coffee and food and the bar menu, but within that there's a lot of daily changes that happen here.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Ankita Soor from Kolkata, West Bengal.
Right.
Sir, after graduation, like I have done graduation from Calcutta University, I had started my own dance school.
Okay.
So apart from this musicians and everything that you are telling, I want to know what we classical dancers have. Any scope? Do we have any scope in your company, or like companies that are having giving opportunities to people who have talents? Because I have also done diploma in Kathak classical dance. So do we have
I'm
any
not very
scope?
sure about our place necessarily, but yes, there will be places because each place has its focus or a genre that they stand for. There would be also opportunities like if someone uses us as a venue, then they could choose to do Indian classical or Western classical, but there will be other venues or locations definitely who are focused on providing a platform for people who are, in your case, let us say Indian classical dance, or someone else who would be playing Indian classical even instruments, which may not necessarily be the thing that we always go for. So it's something you have to search for. There are all these people available. If you quickly also look, you will find a huge number of people or organizations that are supporting that now.
Okay, so I used to teach dance to kids in my locality. They are poor kids.
Okay.
I want to know, like, if I go on with that, like, dance studios, how can I, like, establish that? How can I take that as my career or after pursuing MBA? Like, are there any scope or in any way?
I'm sure there is, because in fact I think there is a shortage of people who are teaching traditional or classical dances right now. A lot of the focus.
But in Kolkata there are many, sir. There are
No,
many
definitely,
institutes.
because that's heart of such kind of things out. But if you look at, if you're planning about doing this here, or you plan to go back home and do it over there?
So I want to continue with that at my home or in other places. Like I can even start here in Pune, because I'm sure traditional dance over here are less, like institutes like this.
See, so that's a big difference. If you're doing it in Calcutta, then you don't have to worry about knowledge or people who are wanting it. There your whole structure is different then, but you have a lot of competition probably.
Yes, sir.
Because then everyone is doing it out there, and
Yes,
a lot of them
there
are
are
very
many.
good at it.
Yes, sir.
So then it comes down to a different approach versus if you're doing it in Pune, where you don't have so many people doing it. So,
Yes, sir.
but then the number of people who may want it is lesser. But I think that you would any such institute that comes up, whether it's you take a doctor, also you take a instructor of any kind, unless you're starting off with a brand of a music or dance school and you open a branch of that where that brand itself brings in the credibility. Otherwise, as an individual, you have to start off and give yourself some time, because finally people come by and say कि ये 20 साल पुराना घराना है, 150 साल पुराना घराना है. That is what the terminology that people use to identify the quality of the dance class or the institution. So start it, and with 3, 4, 5 years you will find suddenly that people will be lining up.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Ayushi Chhatri. I'm from Indore, Madhya Pradesh. So my question to you is that I would really like to know that how does the back end of your of the Classic Rock Cafe works? Then in the front, we know that you have created a whole lot of opportunities for the artists, but apart from them, what is exactly your workforce?
So the main thing is our restaurant staff, which is our chefs, our waiters, our servers, our managers who are handling everything. So that is the whole operational part, which, so there's a lot of prep. So when the restaurants, let us say we close at 1 a.m, so the people would go home at 3 a.m. because they close up, they wind up. If we open at 9 a.m, the morning shift would start at 6:37 because they come and do the readiness. There's a whole lot of, it's like any other business where you have a factory or a manufacturing unit, for example, where you have inventory, you have purchases, you have stock taking, daily ordering, making sure that things are in time. They're a little bit more of control with respect to, because you are giving something which is people are eating and drinking, so you have to be a little bit more careful about hygiene and food quality and all of that, versus giving products which don't have potential health problems. So yeah, so that's one angle where you again make sure that things are clean and safe and fresh, and you're not using stale food, or your equipment is working properly. And so in the back end there's a lot of marketing. So when we do events, planning, advertising, branding, getting things out into the industry. And as a time goes on, probably one reaches a stage where people just come to you because they know you are there. So a lot of restaurants that work on that would do that. You just know that it's good and you will go there, and then they don't need to worry so much about the front end, but the back end doesn't change ever. That always remains the same.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
I am Monica Shrivastava. My question to you is, sir, if after 5-6 years I started my own business, what was the basic business mantra or basic step that I followed to growth of my company, growth of my business?
I would not be able to say that there's any one mantra, neither that, but yes, there are some basics that you have to follow, and if you have that opportunity to wait for a certain time, one of the key things I would say is that make sure that your funds are properly in place, because that's what we find time and again, that the minute you are struggling for funds, and it should not be that you are overly flush with funds where you're not bothered about the running of the business, but it should not distract you from the actual operational part or the creativity part. Your worry should not be about what will I do for today, tomorrow, where will I pay this, how will I pay that. You should use the time before you start your business to get some enough market knowledge, research, the right ideas, the right people, and once you do start, sometimes it started like a trial, let's see how it goes, अच्छा हो गया तो ठीक है, नहीं तो we go back to what we are already doing or go back to the job or a second thing. And if its criticality will determine how much of passion you put into it. If you are left everything for it and now all your savings are in it, and if it doesn't succeed, you may have to really sell houses or not know where to, or borrow money from people and to just survive. Then your involvement in that changes to an extent where you are 24/7 in it, because its survival is your survival. So there are basically, the thing is of being dedicated towards it, working hard towards it, and not doing it on whim and fancy. There is at the back end you have to make sure you're strong. If it's a trial, as I said, where you have an idea and you have the funds to support it, you try it. If it does well, good. If it doesn't, you can shut it. But that means that you are not dependent on that business for your livelihood, which then if it picks up, then you can suddenly go from nothing to everything, and then you can start adding more and more time into it and effort into it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So I think we are done from. Pardon? Okay, so time-wise, you are saying you have time for one last question, yeah, but it depends if anyone has otherwise.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Aditi Jadhav. I am from Dhar, Madhya Pradesh, and I lived in Indore from past 8 years. And we have 4 friends, and we had an idea of opening a restaurant. Like, one of my friend is a great cook, and I can brag people for my restaurant. This we had planned because many other friends have also opened restaurant, and we 3 were the one to bring even customers, initial customers for them. And one of my friend is DJ, and he also sings. And another friend, he can fund us. Sir, but the problem is, I would like to say something about 2 restaurants. That we have a cafe, Mangosteen. So youngsters come there and they sing and they play their instruments and enjoy. But another restaurant, like Infinity Rooftop, it has 2 singers. But the artists there, they don't get any respect. Like 11 p.m. is the closing time there. And if they say that they won't sing more, so some people, they give 50 rupee note or 100 rupee note that tell them we'll pay them 500. They are already getting their salaries, and tell them to sing 5 or 6 more songs for us. So like a city like Indore, do you think that it's right to start such things in Indore where artists don't get that respect?
See, first of all, Indore has an advantage that as a food place, it's one of the best places in the country.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can sell anything, and it's known for good food basically. It's also now coming up for music and events. Earlier it used to be, but now you have 3 or 4 good clubs coming up in the hotels that are there. And I know a lot of my friends or people who I know as DJs, my in-house DJ in fact, he has played in Indore a couple of times. So these situations that are talking of are stray incidents which can come up, and no guest in any place is ever happy when the place closes at the time that he's still sitting there. Even in our place, though they may not say I'll give extra money or something, but people don't want to go home, and 11 o'clock is obviously a very early time. Even for me on Thursdays, which we have karaoke night at 2:30 in the morning also, we have to literally push people, close the door and lock it, and they're at the door banging outside kind of thing. So they tell us, you go home, we will close the place after you, we want to continue. So I don't think you have to worry about that as with respect to the artists. it's how you portray those artists to your guests also, as a management of that restaurant, when the way they are presented to the guests, the way they are talked about, you will get customers of all kinds who will say different things, and that will should not really change your, you go on the basics again. Is your food good? Is your place good? Is your artist good? And if you're not anyway going to be with only one artist, probably there will be a rotation of artists of some kind.
Yes.
So that is what you have to look at. A lot of places the artist is the background, like a 5-star hotel where they're singing on a piano and you almost don't know they are there, you forget, but they are singing. And some, they are the focus of attention where everyone is sitting looking at them and listening to them, and because of them people have come. So again, it will be a question of time. People will start recognizing the artist or the venue, that if someone is playing here, it's important. So don't be worried about that.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. It was again, thank you for inviting me, all of you. So it was lovely being here as always. And yeah, so can you take me?
Music expresses that which cannot be put into words, and that which cannot remain silent. We thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. It's an honor to be a part of your audience. Thank you, sir.